As a sports fan, I have to confess. Sometimes the game gets kind of boring. That's when I unfold my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and use multi-window viewing on its large screen. Boring game? I'm checking out my fantasy baseball league at the same time. Score still 1-0? I'm replying to emails in the other window, scoring points with the boss. Semifinals finally getting exciting? I'm buying tickets to the finals and booking my flights. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
Welcome, my kindred spirits who I talk to ghosts. I'm your haunted host, Jennifer. I'm a spirit medium, and you know I love a good ghost story. Thank you for joining me tonight in the spirit parlor. Come in, settle down. Let's light a candle and brew a little cup of tea. And let's talk about something very close to my heart, being gloriously, unapologetically weird. I consider this the third episode in this series. We have talked about spirituality through creativity, how to discover your authentic self, and now I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and be strange and unusual. We've explored the idea about how the world tries really hard to press us into neat little boxes. Wear this, say that. Be a quiet, predictable version of yourself. And a lot of times those rules are very much self-imposed by us trying to predict what the world wants us to be based on what we see around us. But what happens if you don't listen to any of that? What happens if you lean into your quirks, your odd fascinations, your whims, your magic? What if weirdness is not a flaw to fix, but a spell to cast? Tonight, I want to offer you a guide, a spiritual guide for living out loud, for embracing your strange and sacred self. It's a little part ritual, a little bit of a weirdo rebellion, and part love letter to the odd. So let's begin. Okay, so permission slips are overrated. You don't need a stamp of approval from anyone but yourself. And sometimes we just need to hear that. Think of all the little ways we wait for someone else to nod and say, yes, it's okay to be that way. But the reality is, no one is handing out permission slips for your soul. The moment you realize that, everything starts to change and shift. So ask yourself, what would you do if no one was watching? What would you wear? What would you create? What silly or magical little habit would you allow yourself to indulge in? Take the time to really view yourself and your life from that lens. Remove the audience and focus only on what you want and what moves you and what makes you happy and a little strange. And the next time you feel hesitation creeping in, remember, you're the only authority on your weirdness. You're allowed to live it right now without anyone's permission, because you are the spell. Every choice you make sends out ripples of energy into the world. The way you dress, the music you hum, the way you laugh. These are spells. You're constantly broadcasting energy, whether you mean to or not. So why not make it intentional? Maybe you wear that thrifted velvet cape because it makes you feel like a forest witch. Go for a picnic in the woods. Bring your cape. Have a grand time. I actually have a friend who said that he went for a mini hike in the woods, and as he was going in, someone else was going out on that path, and she was carrying a bunch of odd looking bottles and trinkets, and I don't know if she was wearing a cape or not, but he could clearly see she was doing her own thing. And when he told me that story, what he added to it was that he was envious. He was envious that someone had the bravery to authentically choose to do something and not care what anyone else thought. And they didn't have to explain themselves. They didn't acknowledge anything. They just went about their way. And yeah, it left him envious that he felt he could never do that or was not doing that. And I think that when we live our own odd, weird, strange life, we are encouraging others to do the same. And those who are self-aware enough will take it as a wake-up call, and they will be encouraged to do so themselves. Let's keep talking about weaving that energy spell around yourself. Maybe it isn't a trip to the woods. Maybe it isn't a velvet cape. You could choose to wear a necklace that reminds you of the moon, or paint your nails with the same color you used for your first art project as a child. These are symbols. They're reminders, and they tell the world and yourself who you are. Think of yourself as a living altar. And you don't have to explain it to anyone. You are the magic. Another idea to play with is chase the strange. Your fascinations can be your compass. That odd book you picked up in the used bookstore, the rabbit hole about Victorian ghost photography you couldn't stop researching, or strange and obscure music that isn't part of the mainstream, but you love it. Go ahead and listen to it. All of these are invitations. They tug at your curiosity for a reason. So chase them when you feel it. The strange is often where your soul leaves breadcrumbs. Follow them, even if they make no sense, especially if they make no sense. Did you know the Victorians used to have mummy unwrapping parties and would grind up mummy dust for health concoctions? Did you know that Napoleon was once attacked by rabbits? I think that when we discover strangeness in the world and we let it snag us, it broadens our point of view and we start to feel less constricted. So play in that space and go ahead and expand your weirdness. Another thing to try is speak in symbols. Words aren't always enough. Sometimes we need symbols and doodles, little offerings of mystery. You could send your friend a pressed flower instead of a text. Draw spirals in your journal when you're thinking. Invent your own glyph that no one else understands. The language of symbols bypasses the logical brain and taps straight into magic. And the best part, you don't need anyone to translate it. It's yours. I have often thought about doing creative little projects for people to discover, people that I'll never meet. What if I craft a little fairy out of twigs and leaves and leave it perched on the top of a fence? Some random person is going to come along and see that, and it's going to bump them out of their daily routine, the daily routine that is our enemy. And hopefully it'll bring a little bit of surprise and whimsy into their life. And sometimes I think about how creating whimsy for others creates whimsy for you as well, even if you don't witness the results. These acts will get you into that mindset. And it kind of plays along with this obscure fact that I heard once, that if someone in your social circle that you don't even know, you don't even encounter, is happy, you are 10% likely to be more happy yourself. And I kind of think of energy and magic in that way, that if you're putting little ripples out there, even if they're not for you, the world is more magical. No matter what, the world is more whimsical and strange and weird. And that energy is out there building. Speaking of building, build an inner sanctuary. You deserve a space that feels safe for your weirdness. Maybe it's an actual corner of your home with a chair and a cozy blanket, shelves of thrifted oddities, or a candle you always light when you need to feel grounded. Maybe it's a playlist that no one else would understand, but it makes you feel whole. Go ahead and take these ideas and don't feel like they need to look conventional. Go ahead and be spooky, even if it's May. It doesn't matter. It's what your heart wants. Since we're heading into spooky season and there's a lot of Halloween decor out there, anything that you feel like, wow, this would look good all year, acquire it and keep it out all year, even during springtime. Your inner sanctuary doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. It's yours. It's a pocket dimension where your weird can stretch out and breathe. Trust me, when you pull the physical into your world, you affect and support your inner world. Our brains are always looking for outside confirmation, so go ahead and give it some with intention. And if you want, with strangeness and unique flair. This is your world. Decorate it accordingly. And from decorating, we can talk about let's make art without a reason. Not everything you create has to be good or useful or postable online. In fact, the most magical art is often the messiest and maybe even a little hidden. Scribble with crayons, collage with scraps, sing into your hairbrush, write a love letter to your favorite tree. The point isn't perfection, it's expression. When you make something just for the joy of it, you're reminding yourself that play is sacred. Spirit delights in your delight. Make it as silly or whimsical or gothic and spooky as you want. And I'll say here, it is absolutely okay to be more than one thing. I love cottagecore. I love the gothic and the dark and the spooky and a whole other range of things I haven't mentioned. And some of those things, our logical brain wants to tell us that those things don't mix. You have to pick one. No, you don't. No, you don't. Go with how you feel that day. I have a closet full of dark black velvet and lace dresses. I also have a section of white, frilly, let's have tea in the garden dresses. It doesn't matter. I like them both, and I will wear them based on what my mood is that day. And most of my closet is thrifted. So let's go ahead and talk about enchantment and whimsy on a budget. This is a truth that is close to my own heart. You don't need piles of money to live a strange, enchanted life. Your magic thrives regardless of the price tag. You can have an amazing cottagecore teacup ceremony with a chipped thrift store teacup, and you'll find that lace tablecloth and mismatched napkins at the same thrift store. And you'll often find like the most unique silverware choices, and no, they're not going to match. And I love it. I really love it when things don't match. You can make your bedroom feel like a fairy tale with secondhand curtains and a stack of worn, loved books. You can escape into an exotic adventure by pressing play on your favorite fantastical movie and letting yourself sink into that world. None of these things cost a lot of money. It's just about applying that mindset and deciding what you want, how you want to decorate your world, and you will find a way. When you look at your world through an enchanted lens or spooky gothic lens, even dollar bin treasures become talismans. Magic doesn't care about price tags. It cares about intention. And that all starts with you. In past episodes, I've talked about your own inner judgment and the judgments of those around you. So I just want to take a little time to add extra, strange encouragement. You don't have to dim your light for anyone. If a space makes you feel small, maybe that's not your space. Go where you sparkle or where you can lurk comfortably. Be around people who love your strange angles, who encourage your odd passions. The people you vibe with are the people who deserve your energy. You are going to exhaust yourself trying to fit in where you don't want to fit in, or to try to gain acceptance from a group that it's just not their thing. And that's okay. Don't pour your energy into that. See it as it is. It's no big deal. But surround yourself with people who do encourage you and you encourage them. And sometimes when you bring out your strangeness, it's not in a place at all. It's more of a practice. Maybe it's the moment you dance in your kitchen while you're stirring soup. Maybe it's the smile you give to your reflection when you're in your thrifted velvet cape. Find your strange zones, find your oddities, and return to them often. It's like a lighthouse for your soul. It's your guiding compass, and you need these touch points in your life. Otherwise, you're going to feel really bored and unhappy. Hopefully, as we're talking about all these ideas and concepts, you're like, yeah, I am intrigued. I am excited. What do I want to explore? What do I want to do? Feel that way about your strangeness, your weirdness, your oddness, and go ahead and explore it in any little way. Even just thinking about it completely shifts your energy, and I love that. Here's another thing that you can do. Invent your own sacred days. You don't have to wait for someone else's calendar to feel sacred. Invent your own holy days. Maybe you celebrate the day you adopted your cat as Magical Moon Cat Day, or mark the day that you decided to live your odd magical life and create a holiday around that. What does that look like? What are the rituals on that day? Maybe you want to repeat this every full moon or every new moon. Just keep it new and not a chore, and do things that revitalize and reinforce your odd little self. Light candles, make offerings, sing songs, even if you're the only one celebrating. And that's the magic. You're writing your own mystical mythology as you go. Another thing to think about is honoring your weird ancestors. You can't possibly be the first person in your line to be different. Somewhere in your family tree or your soul tree, someone else was odd too. Too dreamy, too much for their time, never got married. Ooh. When you show up as your true self, you honor them. You give voice to the parts of them that maybe never got to be free. You're the echo and the answer. You're the one they hoped would come after them. So, my wonderful, weird, strange friend, we walked through a whole spiritual guide tonight. Permission, or not needing it, living as a spell, following the strange, speaking in symbols, making art for no reason, enchanting on a budget, sparkling where you want to strangely shine. Invent holy days, honor your ancestors. Just take one of these and try it this week. Make it your strange experiment. See how it shifts your energy. And remember, you are not too much. You are not too strange. You're exactly what the world needs right now. Your weirdness is your lantern. So open it up and shine that light. I'll be creating some principles of these concepts for you to download and keep on your phone, print out and stick on your refrigerator, or that you can put in a thrifted Gothic photo frame that you painted yourself. Keep these offerings as little reminders of who you are, where you want to go, and just as encouragement. You'll be able to find them on my Patreon. That is patreon.com/italktoghosts. And I hope these offerings bring a little whimsical, strange encouragement. Join me again next week. Again, in the Spirit Parlor, I am feeling rather spooky. Spooky season has definitely begun for me, and I felt it really important to get this content out there while it was stirring in my soul. But woo, I'm making room for the spooky now. So join me in the Spirit Parlor this spooky season for some creepier topics and discussion. I hope you'll join me here. But in the meantime, my friend, stay strange, stay whimsical, stay sacred. Live your life as you want to celebrate it. And I will be right there by your side doing the same. Take care.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.